what's up? It's Empress. So let's get real. I have been rewatching Girlfriends. It's on Netflix. Netflix has brought back a lot of shows that we used to watch back in the early 2000s. And first of all, I'm all the way here for it, okay? I'm here for the watching of it. Because I used to love Girlfriends. Granted, I was watching it with my mama, or watching when I wasn't supposed to be watching it, or just sitting with her watching it, because I was a little young then, early 2000s. Yeah, I was a little young when Girlfriends came out. I think I was probably, in middle school, because I didn't even get into high school until 2007. So that tells my age. But yeah, I've been rewatching it, and here's what I have to say about it. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do a little review on Girlfriends. Now, first and foremost, I love Mara Brock-Akil, and what I really want to come back is Love Is. That's the show that somebody somewhere needs to pick back up, because I missed that show. I loved that show, and that show was everything. It just gave me life. But now let's talk Girlfriends. So in this show, I think that everybody made Toni out to be the toxic and horrible person of the show, right? But when I'm looking back at it, oh my God, Joan was a hot, falutin' mess. All the way hot mess. Every single relationship that she was in, I'm not gonna say it was 100% her fault of the demise of her relationships, but she had a huge role in all of them. Like, she just was so, I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it, crazy. I would not even want to date her. And some days, when I was younger, I used to think like, oh, I was going to be like Joan. I hope to high heavens I'm nothing like that. Because she just, the things that she would make up in her mind, the things that she would say, and granted, this is writing and what they wanted her to say, but for her character, Joan was a hot mess. She was horrible. And a lot of times, she was not the best friend either. Let's just be real. Yeah, they talked about Toni, but Joan sometimes was not the best friend. I remember the time when she tried to sleep with, it was somebody she was trying to sleep with, or something like that. She went, I think it was originally her boyfriend, and Toni got with him, and then she got back with, or whatever it is. But Joan had did some really foul things in this show. She did foul things to her friends. She said things that she had no business saying. It was not her place to say. Telling about Toni being engaged to somebody else. The situations with most of her friends, because there was only 4 of them. So 2 of her friends' weddings, getting kicked out of 2 of them. Okay, so your track record's not that good. You have to beg to come back to all your friends' weddings. That's not a good idea. But she just really was not a good friend. And I think that everybody like hyped her up for whatever odd reason. I mean, I have my reasons, but I'll save that for another day. But they hyped her up and all this, but really, she was toxic. She was wholeheartedly toxic, okay? She did not listen. She only listened to herself. And yes, all of them really only listened to themselves. Toni listened to herself. But as much as they made Toni as the toxic friend, people didn't realize that Joan was very toxic. She didn't listen to any of her friends. They tried to give her advice. She didn't listen. Every relationship she was in was a bust. And yes, this is just my opinion. So this is how I feel about it. But I feel like Joan she needed some more therapy. She needed therapy. Thankfully, Toni was going to therapy because Toni calmed down when she had that baby. She did. And another thing that I did not really care for, and this is the doula in me, because y'all know I'm a birth doula. This is the doula in me. After Toni had that baby, she had postpartum depression. And they hinted at it a little bit, but they did not cover it as they could have. And I did not like how Todd and everybody made it out to seem like Toni was just this horrible mother, horrible person, because she had her flaws before she had her baby. So because she had those flaws, that when she had the baby, she was having that detachment, and when she had the earplugs so she didn't have to hear the baby crying, and she left and just needed her space, that's classic case of postpartum depression, okay? And so I think that they could have covered that a little bit more, and actually could have said, hey, you know, Toni had postpartum depression. That's why she was acting this way. But they didn't. That's cool. I picked up on it. But I didn't like how they made it seem like Toni was just this horrible person because she was going through that. When you have a baby, your emotions are all over the place, especially if who she was as a person before she had the baby and she did not necessarily want a child. So then having a child, there's a detachment, and it's hard. And not every mother is so quick to having the motherhood gene, like, or not the motherhood gene, but knowing what to do and knowing how to feel. Like, a lot of women do have postpartum depression, and you know, I wholeheartedly believe that they tried to show that, but at the same time, I think they tried to show that she was just a bitch. And I don't know how I took that. But it is what it is. Maya, a whole hot mess herself. Should have gotten fired from Joan, let alone taking to William. William did everything he could to keep her. But Maya was a horrible assistant. And I've been an assistant to people. I mean, I wasn't the best, but I wasn't like Maya. Maya was taking advantage of everything. Like, you had it made, boo. You had it made, and you just couldn't do right. And when he fired you, then you want to look all sad. Should have did your job. And Lynn just, ooh. But Lynn's just a free spirit. She's a free spirit. But when she dated that Finn dude, they could have found a cuter dude to be the band lead, because he looked like a rat. He looked like a little naked mole rat from Kim Possible. Okay? I'm sorry. They could have found a better dude. I wish Toni would have actually stayed with Idris. That would have been great for me. Tall chocolate man. I love it. I love a tall chocolate man. But she could have stayed with Idris instead of getting back with Todd and then only to divorce Todd. But yeah, overall, I do love Girlfriends. This is my show. Joan is still toxic as all get out. I'm on season 6 right now, where she has the restaurant and it's finally doing something. I did a video on following your dreams, and she followed that dream, and she almost let it go. But she because that was her toxic self, letting it go because she didn't like where it was going or whatever. She didn't like that it turned into a sports bar. It's making money. But she still followed that dream, and she had friends around her to help her, you know, stick with her dream, which is what I talked about in the video. But yeah, so I'm on season 6 right now. I'm gonna finish the season. I think it only goes to 8. But yeah, these women here, crazy. I tell you what. But I still love the show. I still love it. I'm still gonna watch it. They still funny. They still funny as heck. But I just had to say that. I had to say that because I'm sitting here watching it and I'm like, oh my God. Joan be doing the most. The absolute most. Heck, all of them do the most. But Mara, you did that. It's a great show. Bring back Love Is. Okay? That's just all I want to say. Bring back Love Is, because I need it back. That movie was, I mean, that show was for me. And for me all. Like, I'm such a hopeless romantic, so please bring it back. Somebody, anybody. But that was just, this is a quick video. Y'all remember to like the video, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends about me. Drink your tea. Bye, guys.